Alright guys, in this video I'm going to talk about the very end of our body paragraph where we're going to tie everything back like we're kneading bread and we're just constantly rolling things back to the front. Because as a reminder, your topic sentences and your thesis statements, those don't answer the prompt. Your entire essay does, so you need to remind us why we're there. So the first thing you need to do when you wrap up a body paragraph is to stop talking about the evidence. Just stop doing that. So if you were just talking about a metaphor, I don't care about the metaphor anymore. If you were just analyzing statistics, I don't care about the statistics anymore. Now you need to remind me why I was here. You need to tie all of this back to the point of the evidence. So I suggest 4 ways that you can do this. Again, this isn't the only way and this isn't the right way. This is just my way. So I would tie it back to 1 or 2 of the following things: keywords in your thesis, keywords in your topic sentences, the real world, and future implications. Typically, if you're doing a literary analysis, 1 and 2 keywords is going to be what you tie back to. I really need to spell check these before I make this video. And then if you're doing a persuasion, 3 and 4 is typically what you're going to tie back to. However, you can do it however you want. In the end, I don't care about Shakespeare. I don't care about Psychology Today or any other stats and stories. I care about you. What do you have to say about this? How do you think this impacts us? And what do you think? If you don't address that, then you're not writing a persuasion, then you're not developing those persuasive skills. However, in the midst of all of this, do not write in first person. Do not write I. I is only for narrative essays and creative writing, or if you have a doctorate degree. And a good example of this is if I say to the class, what's the best topping on pizza? And one student says, I think pineapple is the best topping on pizza. And another student says, actually pepperoni is the best topping on pizza. The second student comes off with more conviction, more confidence, and it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. So the mere act of writing in third person develops you as a writer. So these next few slides have a lot of stuff on it. I would pause it and read it. But essentially, I use the thesis, topic sentence, quotation and citation, and analysis from all of my other videos. So if you are confused as the beginning of the paragraph, check out those other videos and that'll help you out. So in this situation, this is a literary analysis about Romeo and Juliet. My thesis is at the top. When an individual is in love, they are more likely to make irrational decisions. So I need to prove that. And yes, I'm going to be using Shakespeare. I'm specifically going to be talking about Romeo, but I want to talk about more than just Shakespeare. So I analyze a metaphor where Romeo calls Juliet the sun right here in the analysis. And I dig deeper and say, the sun does more than light the way. It literally provides life. Ultimately, Romeo is proclaiming that he has not known life until he knew Juliet. I don't want to just end it there, because you're not just telling me about Shakespeare. You're talking about love. You're using Shakespeare as an evidence. So now you need to tie it back. So in this example, I tie it back to the keywords in my topic sentence and in my thesis. Clearly, Romeo's desperate need to fall in love has made him incredibly jaded. Look, my topic sentence talks about desperation and jaded, but I don't word it directly like my topic sentence. Though the desire for love is a natural human instinct, the intensity in which people crave it can make it incredibly dangerous. Note that this sentence has nothing to do with Shakespeare. I'm making a claim about life, about the human experience. As such, Shakespeare implies, so I'm directly answering the prompt now, that people are easily swayed to irrationality when they find themselves in love. So irrationality is in my thesis statement. So I'm just kind of slapping my reader across the face and being like, hey, don't forget what we just talked about. Now, if you're doing a persuasive essay, same thing, pause it and read this over. This is answering a question along the lines of, should high school students date at their age, okay? And I use the same topic sentence. Individuals who are desperate to feel love become jaded. This is why teenagers should be cautious when entering relationships. I quote Psychology Today. I analyze the quotation. And in my analysis, down here at the bottom, it says, expecting a relationship to be easy or harmonious negates the most basic understanding of human relationships. They are not easy. Yet we have created a culture persuaded by fictitious romance that leaves teenagers unprepared for the reality of love. So that's my analysis of the information. And now I want to tie it back. And the way that I want to tie it back in my persuasion is I'm actually going to talk about future implications. What does this mean for the future? American culture has not prepared teenagers adequately for love, suggesting that dating in high school could have more negative impacts than positive. Furthermore, if this conversation does not begin to surface, their ability to build relationships, romantic and otherwise, will become increasingly difficult as they grow older. I'm not just saying, hey, you shouldn't date because love is hard. I'm saying, we are not talking about this enough. We're not talking about how love is hard. And if we don't start that conversation, then our relationships that we're in when we're older, those are going to become negatively impacted. So again, at the end of your paragraph, figure out a way to tie it back to the point, right? How do you wrap this all up nicely? And those are the 4 tips that I have for you. I hope this is helpful. If you are confused about any of it, check out my other videos.